Hello, welcome to Algorithms. My name is Saurabh. Today we are going to discuss about system monitoring for security using Azure in Australia. We know that a strong security strategy is important, and it should also include real-time monitoring and routine security assessment for you to enhance the day-to-day operational security of your IT environment, including the cloud. And cloud security, as we know, is a shared responsibility between the customer and the cloud provider. And from the Azure perspective, there are four services that facilitates these requirements with the consideration to the recommendations contained within the Australian Cybersecurity Center Information Security Manual. Now, in this reference architecture, we will align our reference architecture with the four different requirements, which is event logging, event log auditing, security vulnerability assessment, and management. We will be using we will be looking at four different services: Azure Security Center, Azure Monitor, Azure Advisor, and Azure Policy. Now let's look at the architecture. Now this is a pretty simple architecture. As you can see, the data is coming from different sources, whether it's application, operating system, different resources like subscription, your Azure resources, your Azure tenant. Now from the Azure Security Center, it provides a unified security management console that you use to monitor and enhance the security of Azure resources and your hosted data. So Azure Security Center all in all provides Azure customers with the following features. So you can use security policy assessment and recommendation, security event collection and search, access and application controls, advanced threat detection, just-in-time virtual machine access control, and hybrid security. Now, the scope of resources monitored by Azure Security can be expanded to include supported on-premises resources in hybrid cloud environment. This includes on-premises resources currently being monitored by a supported version of System Center Operations Manager. Now, the next one is Azure Monitor. It is also a centralized logging solution for Azure resources, and it includes log analytics and application insights. Two key data types that are collected from Azure resources are logs and metrics. Once collected in Azure Monitor, logging information will be used by a wide range of tools and wide variety of purposes. Azure Monitor also includes Azure Activity Log. The activity log stores all subscription level events that have occurred within the Azure. It allows Azure customers to see who, what, and when behind operations undertaken on their resources. From Azure Advisor perspective, it is a good tool from the advisory perspective because it analyzes supported Azure resources, system generated log files, and current resource configuration within your Azure subscription. And then the analysis provides you a real time recommendation based on the Microsoft best practices, and any supported Azure resources added to your environment will be analyzed and appropriate recommendations will be provided. And these recommendations basically are categorized into four best practices. One is security, high availability, performance, and cost. So if you are looking at cost, just go to Azure Advisor. Okay. And security recommendations which are generated by Azure Advisor form part of overall security analysis provided by Azure Security Center. Azure Policy provides you the ability to apply rules that govern the types of resources that are in your environment, and policy can be used to control resource creation and configuration, or it can be used to audit configuration settings across your environment. So Azure Policy differs from role-based access control. Azure Policy is used to restrict resources and their configuration, and RBAC is used to restrict privilege access to Azure users. So this is a primary distinction between RBAC and Azure Policy, because a lot of time even best of the best security experts gets confused when it comes to RBAC and Azure Policy. So whether this specific policy is being enforced or effect of the policy is being audited, policy compliance should be continuously monitored, and overall resource specific compliance information is provided to administrators. Key design considerations. So when implementing an event log strategy, according to ACSC, ISM highlights the following considerations should be taken. So centralized logging facility should be there, specific events to be logged. It's not that you are logging n number of events and most of them are irrelevant. Event log protection, event log retention, and event log auditing. So this is all you have to implement from the key design consideration perspective, and we have make sure that all these five different criterias are included in key design from key design considerations perspective. Vulnerability assessment and management. Now, when we talk about vulnerability assessment and management, uh, so what you can do is you can look at Secure Score in Azure Center that gives you a list of recommendations when applied will improve security posture of your environment. Now the ISM notes that routine vulnerability assessment and management is important, and your IT environment is constantly evolving, and the external security threats is changing as well. Hence it is very important that you do it on a regular basis. Now with the Azure Security Center, you can do automated vulnerability assessment and guidance on how to plan and perform remediation activities. So there are recommendations as well based upon the security discipline. Um, Now Azure Policy also helps you in terms of vulnerability assessment, because the types of policy available in Azure Policy range from enforcing resource tags and values to restricting the Azure regions in which resource can be created, to the blocking to block the creation of particular resource type. So you can use Azure policies as well, and it has a library of built-in policy definitions which is constantly growing, so they are constantly updating, adding more policies. Now Azure Portal also gives you the option to author your own custom Azure policy definitions. Once you find a policy in existing library or create new one, yes, you can create your custom policies as well. You can then assign the policy to Azure resources, and these assignments can be scoped at various levels in the resource management hierarchy. I guess this is it from my side. I guess I explained all the components, the key design factors, and the requirements from the from the ACSC as well. So this is it from my side. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments box, and we'll get back to you whenever we get time. Thank you very much. Have a great day.